don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Genealogy. Hello there, you two. It is I, Skeletor, and I have pirated Genealogy's channel once again. Why, you ask? Well, it seems like on your world, there's an endless parade, constantly, of holidays. We just finished Christmas and we're already days away from another one. This one is New Year. Where in your world we celebrate the next coming year. I, for one, don't understand why. Every year everyone keeps expecting things to change, and then every year they always seem to say the same. But hey, maybe this year will be different. You don't know. Now I know a lot of you are like, hey Skeletor, you had a holiday tradition. You were supposed to react to a Charlie Brown special for Christmas. To be fair, I had intended to do that. However, time was unfortunately not on my side. Well, unfortunately I couldn't get one done for Christmas. We will save that for next Christmas. But to make up for it, today I am going to react to the Happy New Year Charlie Brown special. So, without further ado, let's watch this thing, shall we?
Oh boy, only one more minute until Christmas vacation starts. And the teacher hasn't given us any assignments over the holidays.
It feels awkward and wrong seeing Charlie Brown smile. When he smiles, you know things are about to go wrong.
Oh no!
Who's Charlie Brown's teacher? Why is she talking like that? Did she swallow a trumpet or something?
I can't believe it!
I told you so! Charlie Brown smiling is never a good idea.
Just had my whole vacation ruined, Linus. We're supposed to read War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. And then
War and Peace by Toy Story? Who's Toy Story? Did they make a Toy Story called War and Peace? Did I miss something?
write a book report about it. What a way to ruin a vacation.
What kind of evil teacher does that to a student? Yes, children, you know that holiday you guys were hoping for, that you guys were counting down? Go out and enjoy your Christmas vacation. But we're still going to ruin your vacation with a lot of homework. Because I'm a bitter, unwed, lonely old maid with no family, and so I'm taking it out on you. Now I, Skeletor, may be evil. But even I wouldn't do something that evil to children. They gotta vet these teachers more. Okay, that's Lucy. Lucy is evil incarnate. You don't want to mess with Lucy. Throwing a snowball at her is not a good idea. It'd be like trying to throw a snowball at Evelyn. It may be funny when you hit her, but rest assured, you will pay for it right after. And you didn't even get her! This kid has an aim like a stormtrooper. You're gonna incur her wrath. At least if you're going to do that, try nailing her. Oh, she's serious now. Run! Run, Linus! Run, Charlie Brown! See, that's why I like Lucy. You don't mess with Lucy. She's wonderfully evil.
How are you doing with War and Peace, Charlie Brown? I just finished reading The Dust Jacket.
I just finished reading The Dust Jacket. I've been sitting here for 7 hours.
Here's the book report that has been written by just reading The Dust Jacket.
Oh, here we go again with Linus on his soapbox. Can this kid please take a Valium or something? Not for his benefit, but for all of ours.
Such a long book, Linus. 1,136 pages.
1,000-page book? Look at this child. He's so short, he can't even sit on the chair properly. His feet don't even come close to the edge. And this sadistic teacher is assigning War and Peace to this child. The book is half the size of him. Now, I always have this theory about the Peanuts universe being just an evil, sinister universe where everyone is evil. But I've never really seen the teachers up until now. I mean, we got parents throwing rocks in children's bags for Halloween, and now we have teachers assigning advanced adult literature to children on their Christmas holiday. This peanut world is sinister.
When Leo Tolstoy was writing War and Peace, his wife Sonia copied it for him 7 times. And she did it by candlelight.
Barefoot and pregnant with 15 children while riding a bike without a seat uphill in the winter.
Sometimes because she had to use a magnifying glass to make out what he had written.
Well, sometimes I have to use a magnifying glass, but for a whole other different thing.
Yes, I really had to do it after their child had been put to bed.
He's still going on. Who cares about this person? What does that have to do with Charlie Brown writing an essay on his Christmas vacation? Unless you said that this person wrote the story 7 times while on her vacation, well, then you'd have something there.
Servants had gone to their garrets, and it was quiet in the house.
See, she even had servants. So I'm supposed to believe that this person who wrote this book 7 times didn't make her servants do it? BS. Her servants probably wrote the book, and she took the credit.
You're telling me you can't even read it once?
Hey, Linus, let me ask you a question. Are you planning to read the book? It's a 1,000-page investment of your time. I don't care if you're a great reader, that still takes a lot of time to read. No way in hell any of these children are getting this done.
Hello? Hiya, Chuck.
Peppermint Patty. She's always calling him, but she doesn't ever listen. She's evil for a whole different reason.
Great news, Chuck. Marcy and I are gonna throw a New Year's party.
We're going to throw a New Year's party. Great news, Chuck. And guess what? It's going to be at your house. Yes, and we want you to make the food, and you're not invited. Poor Charlie Brown.
Well, I don't think It's gonna be great, Chuck. Games and dancing and everything.
A whole bunch of stuff, Chuck, that you won't be allowed to come to, if history tells us anything.
Dance. And besides, I have to read War and Peace.
So hold on a second. I was under the impression that they had signed homework to the entire class. But it sounds like right now that only poor Charlie Brown got assigned this ridiculous homework. This kid is going to grow up to be the Unabomber for sure.
This is your chance to ask the girl of your choice, Chuck. And I guess we know who that will be.
What girl are we talking about? You? Because I'm still debating whether you're a girl or a boy. Although in this one, she sounds more like a female than in the previous special.
Chuck, you sly dog. I can't do anything over vacation because I know you're a little nervous, Chuck. Call me later, Chuck.
Whoever does marry Peppermint Patty, that man must be the most passive human being on the face of the earth. She never listens. She cuts people off halfway through sentences. She legitimately tunes you out. She displays every toxic masculine feature. Not that I care. Hell, I'm toxic, and that's the way I like it.
Boy, we were just with Marcy. There's gonna be a great New Year's party.
This is where Lucy says, "What? You were invited? Why would they invite you?"
Boy asks girl, and I just know my sweet baboo will ask me.
Boys are going to ask girls in this universe. None of the boys in this cartoon have any guts at all, which is not hard to say because the females in this cartoon are extremely aggressive and hard to handle. No way the boys are asking the girls anything.
Not your sweet baboo, and I wouldn't invite you to a chicken race.
And not your sweet baboo. Does he go to a lot of chicken races? That's what I'd like to know. What is a kid this age going to chicken races? In the first lane, we got Colonel Sanders. Second lane, we got Finger Licking Good. Popeyes in the fourth. There's like a secret underground chicken race that this kid goes to and bets all his lunch money on.
Isn't he the cutest thing? And I expect a certain piano player to ask me.
These girls in this town are living in denial. None of them listen, none of them care or pay attention. They just think what they want, do what they want. And the guys are like, "Could you just please listen for 5 seconds what I'm telling you?" Nah, whatever.
This book report to do. I'm enrolling us in a dance class. A New Year's party is not a party without lots of dance.
Yes, have you ever been to a child's dance party or a teenage dance party? It's the most awkward thing. You got the boys on one side, and on the other side you got the girls. And none of them are dancing, and the whole dance floor is just empty. Maybe you got a couple of old chaperones that are dancing, but the boys and girls are not dancing at all. But then again, knowing this universe, the girls will probably just grab the guys by the scruff of the neck and say, "We're dancing right now! Start dancing!" And the guys are like, "Okay, is this good? No! Dance faster!"
What to do, Charlie Brown? Pardon me, but do you have a comic book called War and Peace? No. Do you have a record of War and Peace? No. How about a tape or a cassette?
A tape or a cassette. Isn't a tape the same thing as a cassette? It'd be like, do you have a vinyl and or record?
No. Do you have a record of War and Peace? No. How about a
Then every adult seems to speak with a trumpet in their throat. Wah, 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 wah. Maybe that's what happens because nobody listens to anyone, that their speech devolves over time to this wah, 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 wah. Because nobody actually really cares what anyone else says. So people just stop trying to speak. What's the point in speaking when nobody listens? Wah, 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 wah. Okay, teacher, I'll do the homework. Meanwhile, the teacher didn't say anything of that sort. He just said wah, 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 wah. Maybe that's what social media will devolve into. No one's actually listening. Maybe we'll just type wah, 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 and let us interpret whatever the hell meaning we want.
Orca said. How about a computer game about War and Peace? No.
How about some guy in the back who could just dictate War and Peace to me? Do you have any of that?
You didn't ask about film strips, Charlie Brown.
Why didn't you tell him that when he was in the store? Why did you wait till they came out? You know, as bad as I think Lucy is, I really do think that this Linus kid is much worse. I feel like Linus is actually a troll. I think he pretends to be Charlie Brown's friend when secretly he hates his guts. He just hangs around him because the closer he gets, the easier it is to troll him. Where Lucy comes at you more direct, Linus trolls him from the inside. He's far more sinister.
No, they don't have it on film strips either.
Look at that thing! It's huge! It's like half the size of him!
Well, Prince, Genoa and Luca are now no more than private estates of the Bonaparte family. No, I warn you, if you do not tell me we are at war, if you again allow yourself to palliate all the infamies and atrocities, here I am, reading War and Peace.
This is the book they chose for these children to read? I'm falling asleep and I just heard 2 lines. There's no way you're going to expect this child to read this book. And like I said, it seems like it's only Charlie Brown. No one else seems to be giving a damn about this homework.
And everybody else is at dance class having fun. Maybe...
You see? Everyone else is at dance class having fun while this poor kid is saddled with homework. There's no way this kid grows up without trying to seek revenge on this town.
I should go over to the class and see what they're all doing.
Why are you even bringing that book? Just leave it at home. Who cares? You can't even walk with it, it's so heavy. What kind of dance class is this? See what I mean by nobody listens to anyone, so the parents and teachers just gave up? It's like a dance studio where they said, hey everyone, I'm gonna teach you how to dance. And then everyone just hears wah, 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 and then the kids just do whatever the hell they want.
Come on, Chuck, we're learning the foxtrot.
No, you're not. You're just learning to jump up and down. That's all you're doing. I have a feeling these kids are from the village of the damned, or the children of the corn that came out of the corn.
Read my book.
Slow, slow.
See what I mean with these girls? They're not gonna wait. What? You don't want to dance? Get over here. I'm not putting up with your nonsense.
Quick, quick, move across the floor.
Slow, slow, quick, quick, or also Skeletor's moves in bed.
I'm only on page 5 of my book.
Stomach in deep.
She cares not for your book. Her dance takes more precedence.
Begin again. Slow, quick, quick. The foot
She's ragdolling him worse than when He-Man ragdolls Beast-Man.
on the floor, and you move as one.
You notice that in all the dance partners, the girls have all these happy faces, and the boys have a look of misery on their faces? Well, except for Snoopy.
Think of Wednesday. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Slow, slow, quick, quick. Slow, slow, quick.
That's not slow, slow, quick, quick. That's just quick, 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 quick.
Slow, slow, quick.
I'm guessing that this is the most exercise that Charlie Brown has ever got his entire life.
Good grief. Spoken that elaborately choice French, in which our forefathers not only spoke but thought. He went up to Anna Pavlovna, kissed her hand, presenting...
I'm just bored of this. Why would you assign this assignment to these children? This is definitely cruel and unusual punishment.
her with a...
I wonder when my sweet baboo is going to ask me to the party.
I am not your sweet baboo! And
Does Linus just hang outside his door waiting to be called out whenever it's time? I I'm not your sweet Babu. Just because you hung out one time with me outside a pumpkin patch does not make us married.
Wouldn't invite you to a garage sale. Isn't he the cutest thing?
They just don't listen. I don't care. These kids are like balloon blowing machines. They don't even take a breath. They call Charlie Brown a blockhead.
Rerun, you must be doing something wrong.
This kid's name is Rerun? Why would you name your child Rerun? Another example of the grown-ups just not giving a rat's ass. I had a child already. This is a second child? Yeah, just call him Rerun.
Balloons are supposed to be round.
Yes, and you got a square one. Stop complaining. Just think about how fun your party is with these weird balloons. I think people would pay good money for square balloons. You got a business opportunity here, Linus. Don't blow it. Well, let him blow it.
Must be blowing air into the wrong places. Try it again.
There's really only one place to blow a balloon. There's not like multiple holes in a balloon there, Linus. I don't know who taught you about balloons, but there's only one hole.
Blow up a balloon this way. Oh,
You know, like the way you were doing it. Just do it my way.
try blowing slower. Now you're getting it. Here, I've got another type balloon.
Can I just make a point about these kids' head shapes? Like, what is going on with the boys' head shapes? Well, like, when you were starting to do this artwork, right? And you were like, let's make the girls' heads normal with full heads of hair, but make the boys' heads look like escaped mental patients. His balloon is ribbed for your pleasure.
Now you try it.
His is not, but still, size matters.
Well, are you taking me to the party or not? Musicians don't dance.
That's actually not true. Musicians dance a hell of a lot. Just ask Michael Jackson or Beyonce.
Anyway, I'll be playing the piano at the party.
There's no way that that sound comes from that piano. What is in that piano that can give that big, robust sound? It's like some magical piano.
I don't mind the it's the smile that bugs me.
It's true. It's not that you got turned me down. It's that you had that big grin on your face as you did it. I agree with Lucy on that.
You don't ask me to the party. I'll just go with someone else.
Good.
That's not a threat there. First of all, I doubt that anyone else will have you. For one, I'm pretty sure Linus would rather go to the party with his blanket anyway.
Go with someone else.
Anna Pavlovna's drawing room gradually began to fill. People very different in ages and characters. Hello?
Hiya, Chuck. You thought any more about who you're inviting to the party, Chuck?
Does it matter who he's inviting? Because really, you're going to tell him who he's taking either way.
No, I haven't thought about that. I'm reading War and Peace.
I knew it would be me.
She just does not listen. I'm telling you, that's why everyone speaks with wah, wah, wah. Doesn't matter what you say, it's irrelevant. Nobody listens or even cares.
I'm only on page 5 of my book.
Remember, you have to invite somebody.
Well, I suppose you're right.
It's like two conversations going on at the same time. He's having his and she's having hers. It's just like no communication at all.
I wonder if that little red-haired girl would go with me.
What? So long forever, Chuck.
Well, she heard that, didn't she? So she's capable of hearing. She pretends not to listen because she heard that loud and clear. She didn't say, oh, really? Me? Nope. She heard something she didn't like and she heard it loud and clear. And then she shut the phone like he was going to feel it. I'll shake the phone out of you.
Written an invitation to the little red-haired girl. I was afraid to call her. It's too late to mail it, so I thought I'd take it to her house.
My times have changed, have they not? I mean, if this was today, all you'd have to do is send an email or a text.
Worry.
All you have to do is slip the letter into the mail slot in the front door of the house.
Yes, Linus. Those are pretty much the steps that you would take. It's not rocket science, but then again, this is Charlie Brown, and he did screw up a costume that you're only supposed to put 2 holes in. I guess it does make sense to explain the Charlie Brown thing slowly.
If my hand gets caught in the mail slot.
That's ridiculous, Charlie Brown.
No, it's not. You haven't been paying attention, Linus. This is Charlie Brown.
What if my hand gets caught in the mail slot, and while I'm hanging there, someone opens the door?
You worry about the most impossible thing.
Again, this is Charlie Brown. He has a knack for the impossible. Like we didn't know that this was going to happen.
Hello? Heather, are you home?
And then he makes it 9 times worse. He doesn't, like, with dignity, slowly try to take his hand off and leave. He yells and cries in the room. Heather, are you there?
Come take Blackie to a New Year's party. Don't have anything else to do. Would you like to come? I can't stand.
You're quite the catch there, Charlie Brown. She's gonna look at that and say, no. With you?
Just can't stand.
This dog has quite the extensive wardrobe, does he not? Why does a dog need a noisemaker anyway? A dog's nature is to make noise anyway.
The little red-haired girl never answered my letter. What a way to...
Never answered your letter. She didn't have to answer your letter. You yelled in her house. You opened the door and shouted in her house. The letter became superfluous at that point.
Start a new year. Tomorrow night, millions of people will be going to parties and dressing up. Some are even ready to get
What are they doing? That dog has more fun than people I know.
ahead of time.
The traveling dingleberries, ladies and gentlemen.
It's too bad Charles couldn't come to the party.
Look at those amazing dance steps that they learned. Hopping up and down. Those dance lessons sure came in handy.
Sir, I couldn't care less, Marcy. Too bad you had to write that report. Okay, everybody, it's time to...
Marcy is the only one that listens. Everyone else is just in a state of denial and don't care about anything or anybody else but themselves. Marcy's the only noble one here.
Musical chair.
Can I come in?
I thought you had a study.
I thought
No, he brought his book as his date.
I could read some of it here.
Come on, Chuck. Admit it, you sly dog. You wanted to start the new year with me.
I was kind of hoping the little red-haired girl would show up.
I just love how he doesn't care either. At least something gets a rise out of her.
You drive me crazy. Come on.
Let that be a lesson to you, kids. It's always good to keep your options open. It keeps them honest.
Sir, everybody is ready for musical chairs.
Can I play?
Oh, I guess so, Chuck. Come on. We stop for musical chairs. Come on, let's go. You run around the chairs till the music stops.
Now, I've never played musical chairs. I don't think anyone would want to play musical chairs with Skeletor. Because if I was to play, I'd just lie down on all the chairs right away. All these chairs are mine. I declare these chairs belong to Skeletor.
Have to find a seat now. Don't get caught in the music stuff. You can't be standing there if you want to be a winner at musical chairs.
Ha 3 times the loser you are.
Time the music stops. You're gonna end up when chair's stored. Boogaloo and when the
I'm disappointed in Lucy. I thought Lucy had it in her to go all the way. I was rooting for Lucy the whole time. You disappointed me, Lucy. I thought you had more of a killer instinct. Charlie Brown even beat you. That's a disgrace.
music's gone. Sorry. Now it's the moment of truth. You're burning up.
Charlie Brown is actually the finalist here? No way. I have a hard time believing it.
Sideways.
I think Peppermint Patty rigged it so that Charlie Brown and her were the finale.
Fire. Waiting for the moment you can get off your feet. Cause when the music stops, you can't be...
And this is right here the reason why she rigged it for her and Charlie Brown. Look at that smile on her face. This whole game was just a ruse so that she could get a lap dance from Charlie Brown. Look at her happy face.
there if you want to be a winner.
She's celebrating not because she won the game, but because she got the lap dance she wanted.
Hi, Charlie Brown. It's almost midnight. I'll pour you a root beer.
This is the part of the party where people try to drown their sorrows in booze. Like I did with Skeletor's special blend. Come here, Charlie Brown. Drink with me. I feel bad about myself. I want to get drunk and make fun of you to your face.
I've decided next year I'm going to be a changed person.
Oh, be serious, Charlie Brown.
He didn't even get a drink in yet before she was already putting him down. She couldn't even fathom for 5 seconds that he would change any part of him. Oh, be serious, Charlie Brown. You're a loser, and you'll always be a loser.
No, I mean it. I'm going to be strong and firm.
Forget it.
I would have loved it if he had said, I'm going to be strong and firm, just like your breasts. But I wouldn't have given to see Lucy's face right after.
Charlie Brown, you'll always be wishy-washy.
I've got it! I'll be wishy one day and washy the next.
That's the very definition of wishy-washy. You cannot be not wishy-washy for 2 seconds.
I have news for you. You will never... You sniffed in my root beer! Look at that! I'll bet it's full of dog germs!
And there you go. That's how COVID is spread.
Where are my binoculars? Aha!
You don't find germs with binoculars. You don't see too many chemists working with binoculars, do you?
Never sniff at someone's root beer.
Or their crotch. I'm talking to you, beast man.
Hey, Chuck, wait for me! Hey, Chuck, that was a sly move on your part to get...
What does she think Charlie Brown is? Everything he does is a sly move. She must think he's some kind of weird player or something.
us out here alone on New Year's Eve. We might end up ushering in the new year together. I bet you'd like that. Hey, Chuck?
The denial is strong in this one.
What do you think, Chuck, would be good rules for living in the new year?
I don't know. What'd be a good rule for living in the new year? Skeletor says, do what you want all the time.
Fall low, don't leave your crayons in the sun, use dental floss every day, don't spill the shoe polish, always knock before...
Don't spill the shoe polish? You're polishing your shoes? Charlie Brown, you should be polishing your head.
Don't let the ants get in the sugar, never volunteer to be a program chairman.
What was that last one? Don't volunteer to be a program chairman. It was like a zing to somebody on the station who aired this thing. Some program director was like, who wrote this? I know this is personal.
Feed your dog whenever he's hungry.
Will those rules give me a better life?
Yes, listen to Charlie Brown. He's got the greatest life of all. Well, then again, she's Peppermint Patty. She glorifies Charlie Brown in an unnatural way anyway.
A better life and a fat dog.
Have you made any New Year's resolutions, Chuck?
You know how I always
Yes, this year I'd like to grow a third hair.
dread the whole year? Well, this time I'm only going to dread one day at a time.
I would have rather he'd said, this year I'm definitely kicking that football. If I don't kick that football, then I'm kicking Lucy. One or the other.
Hey, come on, it's almost midnight. Grab your partners, everybody. You're weird, Chuck.
Well, now she's starting to come around. See what happens when you actually sit down and listen, Peppermint Patty? You might actually find out about someone else.
But like in the set in which they moved, the daughter of Prince Bast's beauty, Ellen, came to fetch her father, and Prince Ippolit, the son of Prince
Is it snowing just on the porch? This kid just can't catch a break.
Bast, came too with Morton Mart, whom he introduced.
Charlie Brown died of reading War and Peace. A sad day for sure. He died of frostbite as the book slowly crushed his lungs.
Oh, hi, you're Heather, aren't you?
So she walked by the front porch and didn't even see Charlie Brown?
And Charlie Brown told me he had invited you to the party. I don't know where Charlie Brown is right now.
Well, she does. Look at her face. She passed right by the porch where Charlie Brown should have been sitting. And she didn't see him? Nobody gives a damn about Charlie Brown.
Would you like to dance?
Telling you, Linus is evil. He's now putting the moves on Charlie Brown's girl.
Chuck, where are you? It's just a few seconds before midnight. Chuck!
Maybe you should try where you left him. You know, on the porch. You fool. Why does this clock sound like it came from Pink Floyd?
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? And
What does old acquaintances being forgotten and never being brought to mind have anything to do with Happy New Year? Should there be a song about Happy New Year, everyone get together and love and joy and stuff like that? Instead we got this ridiculous song that has nothing to do with a new year? Should old acquaintance be forgot? I mean, if they were important acquaintances, they wouldn't have been forgot anyway.
of old lang syne,
Can someone tell me what is the meaning of old anxiety?
and days of old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet one.
We'll take a cup of kindness. Who are these kids kidding anyway? These kids have no idea what kindness is. Not that I care. I also don't know much about kindness, except for on Christmas apparently. But this world has no concept of kindness.
For the sake of old lang syne.
not, hey Chuck, you were outside in the cold this whole time? You look like you're freezing to death? Why did you do this to me, Chuck? No one has concern for anyone else.
Midnight came along, I was the only one standing all alone.
Well, maybe instead of standing all alone, you could have gone looking for him, you know, at the last place he was.
Big brother, my sweet baboon didn't dance with me at midnight, 'cause he danced with your friend, the little red-haired girl.
Well, you done screwed up there, Linus. You cheated on your girl with your friend's girl. And you're not even 6 and you're already up to those habits. Not a good start to your social life.
He did what?
Gee, Charlie.
And the funny part is she had to have seen Charlie Brown on the way in and just let him sleep. She was eyeing Linus the whole time from the window, and the real reason she came was for Linus.
I didn't know where you went, but well, you're
I didn't know where you went, and I looked nowhere for you.
sure a good dancer.
A little.
Yes, rub it in there. You see what I mean by Linus? There's no way a friend does that. Boy, is she a good dancer, might as well have said. And she's a great kisser, Charlie Brown. You missed out.
That hair girl was here, and I missed.
I think Charlie Brown is within his right to hit Linus with the book. Don't you? He's reading about war and peace. This is where war comes into play.
Happy
I am convinced this girl is the nicest girl in this entire show. She's the only one that listens, and she's actually caring.
Here, Charles.
Point in case, what was the need for this dog to scare those bears for no reason? Look at that smile on his face. He caused havoc for no other reason than havoc. That's why I love the Peanuts gang.
Hurry up, Charlie Brown. We'll be late for school. Did you finish War and Peace, Chuck?
Since you are the only one that got assigned this homework for some reason, because everyone in this town has it out for Charlie Brown.
I finished at 3 o'clock this morning.
How did you like it, Charlie Brown?
I don't remember a thing.
That's about right. I'm listening to him read it, and none of that book sounds very memorable, especially to a child.
You turning your report?
Yes.
What grade?
Now all of a sudden you care about his report? This whole time he's been talking about his report and nobody gave a damn. You just see how evil he is? He just wants to revel in his misery. I have a feeling that all the kids were in on this with the teacher. They were like, "Teacher, we don't really want Charlie Brown to be at our party. Can you assign him some ridiculous homework so we didn't have to put up with him during the party?" And the teacher went, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." This is all a conspiracy against Charlie Brown from the start.
What did you get?
D, my lowest grade without failing. The teacher said it looked like the sort of report that was written after midnight last day of Christmas vacation.
Which was exactly her plan. Her and the children, that is.
Did you say? I congratulated her on her remarkable insight. Did you?
Well, at least he took it with humility.
What our next assignment is?
No. What is it?
To read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky.
Yes, that's an appropriate response, Charlie Brown. And I guarantee nobody else is doing it but Charlie Brown. You should have said, "You know what your next assignment is, Charlie Brown?"
Happy New Year, Charlie Brown. Now it's the moment of
I love these cartoons. They're just so evil. They remind me of home. Anyway, that's all for today. I want to wish you all a Happy New Year. I truly do. I hope in some way that I, Skeletor, helped to make your 2021 less miserable. And I also hope to be a big part of your 2022 as well. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Genealogy. Until next time.